Hey guys, this is Long Productions again on the 4673 and I'm back in Crimson Refflesia Demo Part 7. So yeah, I know what you're thinking. Hey, hasn't it been a little too long since you played this? But yeah, you know me. So yes, basically this is what is going on. I'm going to play this game again. Oops, what happened? Well, I don't care. Let's just go on with this. Yep. I cannot remember what happened last. Strange murders occurred. These strange murders stopped when I was around 10 years old. Not that I remembered. Then there was a series of strange disappearances. These strange disappearances stopped when I was around 12 or 13 years old. That was the age when I fell from the building and lost my memories. Michaela found me and brought me to the hospital. That was not the end. It's been a year since Michaela was killed. And just a few hours ago, Hef Parison and Robert Goldstein was found dead in the exact same way. Come on. There you go. The boy stands up, Excuse me. The boy stands up, brushing his shoulders calmly. Any normal person who passes by will find him as calm and composed as ever. Yet, said a normal person will probably cringe at the deadly aura of heat and rage steadily diffusing through the room. Sure Raylene, huh? He was sure Raylene was in that car. He wasn't wrong. He had thrown the knife that burned that car, fully intent of destroying that monster. Yet he had failed. And because of that, he now had to run from Wilshire Corporation itself. This is certainly the worst scenario possible. He had always known the stories surrounding Wilshire Corporation. Yet this country has gone through so much already that nobody has the strength to complain anymore. Decades ago, this small island was under something rule of a power monarchy. Blah. This country, being a small yet effective trading port, proved extremely valuable to them. Many of the strongest corporations in the country were owned by these something masters. The natives also tried to follow in their footsteps by starting a few. Wilshire Corporation was one of them, started by Xavier Wilshire, an ambitious but unskilled man. Wilshire Corporation was nothing back then. Sure it wasn't. However, years later, the country was attacked by a rising empire from the east. There something masters, colonial masters, who were supposed to protect them, ran away at the last moment, leaving them vulnerable, resulting in their defeat. Xavier Wilshire was one of the many something who died in the war. Fortunately, their victory did not last long, for they were forced to leave the island thanks to their country being attacked by external forces. Yet the country had already been left in a sorry state. In the midst of all of these traumatic events, groups of half-hearted politicians tried to scramble through the wreckage to no avail. The country was little more than a complete something. Then, around 15 years ago, the country broke into a full-on civil war, leaving behind nothing but death and despair. It was only after that a man appeared to become the new director of the Wilshire Corporation, a man who stood up to lead them all. His name was Gregoran Faraday. Oh, there we go. In a fit of mad passion and leadership, he started flourishing business that began to drive the country's economy. At least, the country was revived. Trade was something reestablished. There we go. Wilshire Corporation was technically not meant to have any political power, yet what is official political power in this country anymore? Every man on the street had some kind of idea that Wilshire Corporation had the government pretty much in its beck and call. Wilshire Corporation is the government. Nobody could say otherwise. However, in the past few years, Gregor and Faraday himself had pretty much disappeared entirely and seldom showed himself before the people. Even all of his public appearances and speeches were left out, not to his deputy but to his son, who technically was not supposed to hold any power. Everything is a mess. Originally thankful, the people now are getting suspicious of Wilshire. People are getting increasingly frustrated by the dark and shady dictatorship. Rebel and terrorist attacks are so frequent that even Case and Voltaire's antics last night will probably be brushed away by a lower priority than by the government. To Kaysen, it is a relief, yet he can't help but feel irked that he hasn't managed to do anything effective. I guess you could say so. Sighing audibly, Kaysen stands up. From the corner of his eye he glimpses a stack of envelopes that he had taken with him when leaving his apartment for good. The letters he'd been exchanging with Michaela for a few years when he was out of the country. Michaela Lane, a girl who found him bleeding, burnt and dying on the pavement 5 years ago. The girl who saved him, kept visiting him and sending him letters even after he was fully healed. They had been exchanging letters ever since. Kaysen told her about his parents' death in a car crash, having not gotten over his grief, and Michaela replied, telling me that she too had lost those who were special to her. Her precious younger sisters, Flora and Belinda. Yet Michaela was Michaela. She was cheerful, optimistic, and kind. And now she will never write a word again. Don't make me hate the main character more than I already do. Okay, phone. The ringing of the old phone breaks the chilling silence. Wait, something is wrong. This is a rented apartment. Previous owners left their phone here, but only because they had got a new one. Naturally, they would have given their new number to all of their friends. Thus, this phone call must be for them, from a person who has probably forgotten that they had changed phone numbers. Even so, he shouldn't pick it up. What if it were from Wilshire Corporation? They could have found out where he lived and are now calling to check if he's home. He waits. Wouldn't every normal person have hung up by now? In the end, his curiosity gets the better of him and he picks up. Hello. Silence. The person on the other end breathes deeply. Hello. Are you looking for Madisons? They're currently staying at... Am I speaking to Mr. Kaysen Voltaire? Are you Mr. Kaysen Voltaire? The person... Okay. On the other end is unmistakably a man. Then I'm going to change the voice. A man whose voice has never heard before. Kaysen grips the phone tighter. Yes. May I know who's on the line? My name is Simon Coyle. Simon Coyle. An alias, certainly, but the name is of a well-known recruiter of the revolutionary anti-governmental rebel organization, the National Liberation Front. Set up a few years back, they've only had one goal: to destroy Wilshire's hold of the government and rebuild this country once more. Why? How? A million questions passed through Kaysen's mind. I heard the police were Stop it! The police were looking for you. Good thing it appears that I found you first. Tell me more. Why hasn't he thought of this before? Kaysen is inwardly glad that he chose to pick up this call. With Wilshire Corporation as his enemy, there's no other choice than to escape far away or fight them directly. He can't choose the first option. That would mean abandoning Show Raylene and letting her roam free. As for the second option, it must be safer to stick with comrades with the same goals, to overthrow Wilshire Corporation. Although, will you kill others too to get me? What did she mean? She's crazy. He can't entertain the thought of a monster in the form of a girl roaming free, killing for pleasure. Especially not like this. There's no way Michaela would want that either. 5 years ago, he woke up in a hospital ward, unable to remember much of anything at all. He had been caught in an accident and had fallen from a burning building. He was so lucky to be alive. Michaela had saved him. She was the first thing he ever saw. Yes, 5 years ago, that was his earliest memory that wasn't muddled, blurry, and broken. The very thought that he lost Michaela, the girl who was closer to a sister to him than anyone else was. Such a demon makes him nauseous. Not to mention how sad the demon not only managed to survive, but managed to live a good life working for the shady Wilshire Corporation without any remorse. It made his stomach churn. Or that is what he would tell himself. So, are you interested in joining us? Of course. Suddenly, Kazan felt his head racked by searing pain. Something. He's remembering something. Or else, I'll kill you, too. In the forest clearing, there was a young boy and a girl. The girl was wearing a lovely dress with lace and ribbons. Certainly she must have been a well-pampered child. In contrast to the boy, wearing a simple shirt and pants, looking worse for wear. The boy looked up at her. She looked back at him. Her eyes was a strange color, like petals in a light spring breeze. She wasn't wearing any shoes. Anyone would have expected her to wearing elegant dress shoes while stockings, yet there wasn't any kind of footwear. Why would a well-dressed girl be out without any shoes? It wasn't the first time either. Those feet were closed. Something. Through the tears in his eyes, vision blurring, he could recognize her. His face was wet with tears. So was hers, as she continued to fidget. He said that, but at the same time his body was trembling and his voice was redolent. He shook her head violently, trying to restrain her sobs. And before he knew it, she had run over to his side, crying. I was scared. So scared. Thanks for saving me, Kai. I thought it was okay if I just died there. But I can't say I wasn't scared. I can't say I wasn't happy that you came to save me. I'm so selfish, aren't I? You shouldn't have done that. You should have just let me die, you know. There was no helping it after all. She was his friend. There was no way he could have let her be killed, even if it meant to have setting her attacker on fire. Still, he never knew that he could do something so violent. And now that he knew he could, he was afraid. Afraid that he'll one day lose control and drench the world in flames. You should stay away from me, you know? You saw what I did, didn't you? I'll kill you. Slowly, her tear ceases. Her expression is blank, pulling him up to his feet. He didn't kill anyone, Kai. She raises a finger and points at her temple. I killed him. I killed him here, inside my head. Before you even came, Kai. I wish you would just die, disappear. I killed him before you did, Kai. That's why. The killer isn't you. A painful, forced smile appears on her face as she stumbled absent-mindedly on the grass. I have to end the episode here. I will see you in the next one. Bye!